Hey, welcome back to Two Canadian Bros podcast. I'm Conchago.
And I'm Sean Boy. Welcome to the another episode of the Two Canadian Bros podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about what's going on out in our forests because we have a fire ban going on, and there's a fires going on, and we want to know where the animals where they hide out if they can, stuff like that.
Not only that, is when you're out and about, there's always a safety concern.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where if you live in the bush or something like that, where you put your stuff outside, what not to have out there and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
there's a few stories in the news there about people getting hurt. You know,
I seen it one time on the news. It's not just in our area is across the nation of Canada, right? Last year, I seen on the news, you had this guy has 4 or 5 sprinklers. He took some PVC piping and he made his own little connections, the three-way, and he put 3 sprinklers on top of his roof.
yeah, for forest fires. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's one west of Kaministosha Lake. There's
yeah.
one near I
Go
guess
Gamma.
near Kirkin Lake or whatever.
You got go,
And there's three. There's basically three in the area, and right now there's a lot of smoke hanging in the air. So if you have issues with breathing, well, that's not really. I mean that's not a good thing. I mean it's like
yeah.
it's pretty.
It's
You
scary
know,
sometimes. It's scary for the animals.
yeah, like you
Okay.
said. Anyway,
But it is scary. It's not just for the animals because there's people out at your camp, right? Living there all year round. You remember that years ago, everybody got evacuated from their cottages,
yep,
and it was going from your cottage to this cottage. And one of my friends, Adam, Adam,
atom bomb. Yeah.
yeah, and he was fishing. Amanar came up to his boat and told him to get off the lake. He says, "I'm in the safest place in the world, water."
Yeah. That's not safe. Anyway,
But
wow.
they were more concerned of the smoke damage they could do to
But
you.
the thing too is, I remember like this is a while back when my dad was still with us,
Yeah.
all sitting at the cottage, and we had a one of my neighbors. He was living there all year round, but we were at the cottage. He
Hmm.
ran to come get us. He says there's smoke in the back the last cottage. I said, okay, let's go take a look. So we all jump in our pontoon boat and we just go right out there. And sure, all of a sudden you see him. He jumps off like we didn't even barely dock, and he's jumping on the dock and he's running the neighbor right. And this
Yeah.
guy, like at the time, he was in his 70s, man. I mean, like he was older, but he man because he worked all his life, eh? Like he's very mobile. So he runs off, comes running back down the hill, like because it was a hill in the guy's lot there, running down the hill. Hey, we gotta go get this. There's a fire back there, and whatever. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so we go where the nearest water pump was. Go
Hmm.
collect a few other guys, and then we went back. My dad and I went to where the fire was, and then two or three guys were trying to start the pump. And trying is what I'm is pretty well. I mean, I don't know what they were doing, but it was taking them a long time to start this pump.
Yeah.
And then my dad looked at me. He says, "Go start it for him." All right. So just as I go down there, boom, they started. Okay, so we go back. There's a flame that was coming up a tree. My dad and I, like we knocked down the flames.
Right.
Right. We seen a water bomber. Yeah, because it was somebody notified the MNR. So there was a water bomber that came like we saw the bottom of it. You know what I mean? And and then all of
Hmm.
a sudden the MNR guys showed up, say, "Hey, get the hell out of here!" Yes, sir. He says, "Leave the pump." All right. So we jumped back in the pontoon boat. We went across back to where our property was, and that was it. Then we left the pump there so that they could, it's already set up, it was running, they could use it. So yeah, my dad and I actually bought a forest fire. So, I mean, it was a neat experience. Not something I'd want to do like professionally, but you
Good.
got to do what you got to do when you got a piece of heaven there and you want to keep it.
I'm glad you guys had those that little shed with the big hose, the fire hose.
Well, in the past, it was on people's property, right? Like
Yeah.
the guy who was in charge of
The hose.
our cottagers association, he had one. There was one on the other side of the lake, and then I mean, there was pretty well. So you weren't that far from one. Now they have different. They have it set in a little sheds along the way there, and there's a few people on the lake that have AEDs and stuff like that because basically we don't have uh, ambulance service to the cottage.
I know
So
that.
basically, you have to do your first aid and then bring them to the the city line, which is not too far from White Birch, and then you'll get access.
Can you get an Amazon White Birch,
Not to White Birch, no.
or just before a little ahead of it?
Well, see, that's the touchy thing. There's one way in, and where the property goes in to go to Star
Yeah.
is past the city limit.
Oh, okay.
So, but some of the cottages are in the city limit. So some of the cottagers at Star pay city taxes, and then some don't.
Oh, okay.
Like
Makes
we don't
sense.
pay, we pay county taxes, right? Which is
Right.
a heck of a lot more or less than city taxes, right? And we pay like 4 times, like it's broken into 4 payments,
Right.
but you could pay the whole thing at once. Like, it's not a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot cheaper. That's why a lot of people live out there. Yeah, you don't have garbage service, but you could pay E360 so much a year, and then you get access to the dump, right? A week though, but
Yeah. You have
it,
you have your own key, right?
no, not anymore. Then you have to wait for the dude to show up.
Oh, you got to call him up saying I'm going to do the garbage, and then he shows up.
No,
Or
you go there
or
when
does
he's
he?
there. You go there when he's there.
Oh, it's almost like the city dump in town.
Yeah, except for it's not 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, when you're out doing your stuff at the cottage, if you're past the city limits, depending on how far you are, you gotta be careful. I mean, um, there was a guy who got a little drunk.
Oh.
And by little, I mean a lot. And he was driving a side by side, and it flipped over, and he was severely injured.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't pass away. He didn't, he didn't unalive himself. What they say in the YouTube speech there, but they had the one guy was driving by. It was like hours later.
Yeah.
Heard the dude moaning. Stopped, seen the guy, threw him in his truck. Right, he's all bleeding and everything. He put him in his truck, drove to the city limit, called the ambulance 911 and say, "Hey, I'm at the city limits going east, west from Timmins, and there's a guy who's really injured. We need an ambulance out here."
So the best place to go is to turn off to Sudbury?
No, just the city limits, man.
Just.
You know that sign that says you were in the city limits of Timmins?
Okay, got
Okay,
it.
that's where you got to go. I
Okay.
mean, we go seven kilometers or 5 miles or 7 miles, whatever.
And then
No,
your
5
camp,
miles.
the cottage is the limits of to Nagami or to whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not in the city limits, we don't get ambulance, which is kind of stupid. But
Yeah.
and
Imagine.
they're always wanting to increase our taxes. Okay, well, fine, increase my taxes, but make sure I don't have to drive 5 miles to go get an ambulance service.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's why Conslego always tells me, because I know you're trying, you do things sometimes you injure yourself. Because Sunday we're going to town, that's when I bring you to the hospital. Other than that, you suck it up.
Yeah, Mr. Sliprock here.
Yeah. Well, imagine if Conslego, my parents always camp. Austin, you got no ambulance service. Period.
Well, if you go to Horwood Lake, imagine that. That's pretty
Or,
far.
I think Red Pine Lodge, it's city limits.
No,
Dardine, my sister Dardine and Rob.
they can't be because they're past me.
Yes.
So they're not in the city limits. No, they're so far away from Chapleau, it's not even funny.
I thought you guys you were closer to Joliet.
No,
That's why.
no, they're closer to Foleyet.
Okay.
Unless they fall under Foleyet. But where are they going to send somebody
Yeah.
to go where? There is no hospital in Foleyet.
No.
They got an everything store. They got a liquor store. They got an LCBO.
You want to see your doctor? You got to drive over to Timmins.
It's a nice little place. Don't get me wrong. You can also take the train there. There's it's the Via Rail.
Yeah.
It's the one that goes east west.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if the fire is going on out in the bush, going blazing. I'm wondering if the animals dig in the ground or they go into rock caves to hide the shelter.
Well, technically, most animals are smarter than people.
The birds would fly away to places that's clean and smells nice or not for them, and then it still smells. If it smells bad, they fly away again.
If it's windy, the flames go pretty quick.
Yes.
You would think that there are some of them, especially the small rodents, rabbits, and mice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Squirrels, they're going to get caught, right? Stuff like I mean, even like bears can run pretty fast, but it's more of a stamina thing. Can they outrun the fire?
But the moose, deers, and the larger animals like wolves, coyotes, they can run faster than most small animals like you said, raccoons, squirrels.
Yeah, but you can only run so much, right? You can only run so much.
Yeah.
If there would be, I mean, they all swim. They all do. Like bears and moose and stuff like that. Like we got video of a moose swimming across the lake.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they can do that, which is good. Well, so the mice can swim too, and
snakes, frogs. You drop in the water.
Yeah. See, the thing is like, okay, why did the fire start, right? So, they had one, and they said, well, there was it was the train that started it. Well, they got spark arresters on trains. They got the wheel to the rail contact, like it's metal to metal. So if it was an area where they had to brake, then there's going to be a little bit of sparks.
Yeah.
But the train itself, like the movement, it doesn't. That won't. They have things on the train that will stop sparks from happening.
Nice.
So that goes back way back when when they did fire with wood or with coal,
Yep.
right? And also they put stuff in the smokestack so that the sparks wouldn't go and get the wood, right? Because
Yep.
it's like as much rain as we've been having, it's still quite dry. There's a lot. The rain. It'll rain, but the water disappears quickly. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
we had the rain yesterday,
Yeah.
and just all from I went out yesterday late afternoon because it was raining yesterday,
Hmm.
and it stopped around one or two. So I went outside to get some fresh air. I could still smell the rain.
Yeah.
It was still lingering in the air. I get that rain smell.
Yeah.
So it was lingering.
Well, last night the last time we brought the dog out,
Yeah.
it was pretty well dry. Like there was no mud in the backyard,
Hmm.
nothing like that. I mean, it doesn't take long for it to go. That's what I mean. And we've been having pretty good temperatures. And yeah, people complain that they can't start fires. Well, this is why. You know, when you when you can't like, there's times when we go make a fire and it's a little windy. We say no, we don't do that because
Well,
we don't mean no, we don't need that. Okay.
yeah, I know, but it's not my camp. I go to Constantino's camp, and it's not my camp. I can't do. They tell me, do what you want with the fire. You know the rules, right? But I always still ask Constantino all the time because it's his lot, his property. I want to make sure it's okay still, right?
And hello, Lisa. She said hello.
I know I got it.
You didn't bother to say hello. What the heck is wrong with you?
I did. So I said, then anyways, so you go to camp, and then the first thing he tells me, how's the wind? That's all he says. I said, yeah, okay, I know the rules. That's all he tells me. How's the wind?
Yeah.
Then I
If it's
tell,
windy, you don't make a fire because you never know when a spark can go off and hit a tree.
yeah,
You know? If you need the fire to stay warm, if you're lost in the bush or something, that's a different story. Okay.
yes,
It, if you're just doing it for recreation, and some people there they like to have a few beer around the fire.
oh
How
yeah,
many forest fires started because people were making fires. Like
and
I don't think they announce it enough because I don't think they really want to say, okay, well, it was man made there. Then they got to try searching for the guy who did it.
yes,
You know what I mean? It's like because some people will go camping in the bush, but they don't. I mean, there's no permits needed or anything. I mean, you just go
yeah, and,
and
and
then
then and then the other thing too, people like to dig a little hole, right, and put and not that deep, but deep enough for the wood to go in. Or sometimes you got no hole, just a circle of rocks around it, and then some people don't think. Some people think, right? Some people go, okay, you got buckets of water, you put it on top of the fire, and then you put the sand on top of it, make it like a muck, and,
mhm.
and then it kills the fire. And then you forget that the coals between the rocks. When the wind blows, the coals go flying into the dry leaves, and then
Well, like our fire pit has at least 2 feet of sand between where the fire is and where the ground, like where the dirt is, like
is
I
it
mean, the
is it
topsoil. The reason why we do that is because if you made a fire and there was a root or anything underneath, the root can catch fire and simmer and go all the way to the tree and then run up the tree and start a fire. That's why
yes,
you need a base, and then you need your fire, and then you need to go around so that wind doesn't kick it around. But
yep,
even then, if it's really windy, you know what I mean. The Especially if you're burning something like cedar or something like that pops,
yeah.
it could pop a fire easy, easy out out into the forest.
I I like Conchego setup a lot.
Well, we want to change ours because basically we got this big square. I think it's like 10 feet by 20 feet,
Something like that, yeah.
and we put a lot of sand. And when I mean we put a lot of sand, we put a lot of sand because we got quite a bit of sand in between where our fire is and below where the
Mm-hmm.
dirt is, and where our fire is and where the next dirt is, either way, right? So, and in front of us, there's a lot of sand, and that's where we park
And
our boat
and
in the
and then we
winter.
have we have a hose on the side.
Yeah, we got the hose in the side, which I gotta fix something there, but anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, and then we were right by the lake, so if worse comes to worse, we have the buckets and we can throw water on the fire.
And you get shovels to throw the sand on the pit
We
too.
always keep rakes, shovels, I mean, things to poke on the fire to put it down. We got lids. Basically, it's bus rims. Like we got big uh,
City
town
West.
bus Sudbury, and it's from Sudbury. So the old Sudbury city bus rims. My cousin got us two of them. So they brought them down. We have that, and my dad got two metal half-inch metal plates that cover the bus rims exactly, so we can cover it to smother the fire.
Oh, that's nice. Nice setup.
And that way, if for whatever reason, if we got to go somewhere, if something happens, emergencies, whatever, because you never know. We put those on top of the fire, and like I said, it's half-inch steel. Like they're steel plates. They're
And
half-inch steel.
then sometimes is a downpour. We get a downpour, right? I'm out there by myself, and I take a rake, like the gardening rakes, the metal rakes. I take the big log. If the lid can fit, I take the log out and I smother it in the sand, real good
Yeah,
until I see smoke, just smoke, and then the rain will do the rest.
yeah. And the thing is when you're out and about, you got to be safe.
Yep.
'Cause if you don't pay attention and you burn that little piece, well, then that's not fair for everybody else. Okay. Uh, I went fishing with my uncle in Quebec. This is after a big forest fire went through a certain area where he goes fishes usually. And normally, when you go out into the forest, you hear birds, you hear little animals, you hear noise.
Right.
We went there, we didn't hear nothing because all the trees were all burnt. You're sitting nothing weirder than sitting in the middle of a lake, and you look around and all you see is burnt trees, like
Mm-hmm.
charcoal trees. And the only thing we heard was a turkey farm, like a few miles uh, past where the lake was, and you hear some turkey. Other than that, you hear nothing. I'm going, this is unreal. I've never, you know, you don't, you don't understand till you experience this. This is, yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, it's like you go in the bush, you want to see these things. This is what
Mm-hmm.
like, we do, right? There wasn't even bugs. Like there was no flies. There was no flies, no mosquitoes, no nothing. I mean, there was nothing there. Everything was dead. Like it was a dead area, And we're in the middle of like, what was it, July?
Yep.
Like it was in the middle of July. Like I'm going. I mean, he says my uncle. He says, yeah, it's you. Before the fire, it was like a lot of activity, and you hear the birds and stuff like that, but you don't hear nothing. I mean, nothing.
And sometimes you go down a highway, you see a fire, you see an odd animal on the side of the road, like a moose or something in the creek, because animals know where to go because they're smart.
Well, technically, most of them do, but there are some that do pass away. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Other thing too is like when you're going and walking through the bush, or even if you're sitting at home or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
The one thing you got to worry about, especially when you're close to trees and stuff,
Yeah,
wildlife. Like we're starting to get more raccoons around here.
because it gets warmer. It's warmer up here now,
I mean, you get your bears.
and it,
Uh, I mean, the bears are actually coming to town. No,
yeah,
no bear hunt. So what happens? More bears are around, and what do? They need to eat, and then you get
Bir-
these, and then you get people who have bird feeders and stuff like that,
flowers and stuff.
and that's what the bears go eat, right? So if you have a like an apple tree or something like that, cherry tree, whatever, the bear's gonna eat that if there's any fruit or anything on there.
Yeah, choke cherries and
I mean,
crab apples. And
yeah, yeah.
you got it. You understand, guys.
Like basically, I had a cousin not too long ago who was just bringing his dog out first thing in the morning before he goes to work, and he didn't see the baby bear in time. By the time he did, the mother bear was on top of him. Luckily, they lived, but what I mean, and it wasn't his fault. Like what I mean, he was just out in his yard. He didn't notice the bear right away. Like you don't think anything
Mm-hmm.
of it, especially when you don't have anything like bird feeders, those things of fat or whatever in your yard. You know,
Right.
like we don't have any of that in our yard. We don't have it at the cottage, right? It's because it's bear magnets.
Well, once in a while, we see a bear go through the yard. Once in a while, not a lot, just once in the blue moon, and we just go, oh, a bear came, and we move on.
Well, the thing was, is in the spring, the bear goes across the lake. That's what it is. The one time that we had a bear and we all saw it, like my wife, her son, uh, well, not he was in the house, likely. My parents, right? And I was coming in from work. I noticed the bear. I go, what the heck? So I said, okay, I'm going to go around this way, and then I'm going to warn the people in the front yard because I knew that's where they were because it was a really nice day. That there's a bear in the yard. To be careful. While he saw me, the bear saw me. Didn't want nothing to do with me, which is pretty well what it is. Like I didn't do it quietly. You know what I mean? I walk around. The bear hears. The worst thing you can do is surprise bear. And it ran to the front, and then all of a sudden, he saw the people in the front. It was just a second year bear, right?
Mm-hmm.
It probably just got kicked out by their mom, right?
You didn't pay rent, get lost.
Yeah, I didn't pay the rent, right? So he stumbled, ran back the other way. By the time I went in the front, he was gone.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, okay, that's. And I looked around, and I mean, unfortunately, my brother-in-law decided that he was going to throw something that held food in the garbage outside, which we don't do, and that's why the bear was attracted to the area. And I gave him shit. It's like, dude, you don't do that. I mean, that's how
Yeah.
you attract bears. Like, I mean, this is a dangerous thing here. We live in the area. We live in their area, so we gotta play basically by the rules so that we don't attract them.
That's right. If they show up, they show up. They
We
don't. They
want
don't.
them to be in the bush eating their food, not our food. Like when I clean the barbecue, I make sure there's no bird feeders. We don't have uh, we don't plant anything that attracts the bears because there's different flowers or vegetables or something that I don't know about vegetables, but I know there's certain flowers or stuff like that the bear wants to eat. We don't have,
Yeah.
like
It's
we
the
have
same.
blueberries in the front, but by then there's blueberries everywhere, right? My grandfather planted blueberries in the front of our yard there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a few, then we
The
have
one
a
to go.
few, but by then there's blueberries in the bush.
Yeah, that's the one to
So
go by your old dock.
yeah, so yeah, you got to be careful. You know what I mean? And it goes to show you, even if you do everything you should do, you can still get caught if somebody else, like maybe your neighbor or somebody down the street. I mean, and they were probably picking through the garbage too. It was, I mean, it was a Thursday,
Yeah.
so it was people's garbages were getting full because it was not too far from where I am, and our garbage day is Friday. Like we put our garbage out tonight, and then they come pick it up, right?
Hmm.
Even if it's in those bins, they'll smell it, right? And
Yeah.
they'll go and take whatever they want.
But for us at the camp, right, Carthago, we put the garbage in one of the sheds, right, and we shut the door.
Well, we usually have it in the steam bath,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's right. The steam bath now. That's right.
and then we take it to town, and then we put it in the bin, like here, because
Uh-huh.
we pay enough taxes, Rick. My mom pays enough taxes in this area. You know what I mean? They could pick up our garbage.
And they had no problems.
So, I mean, it's a safety thing. You know what I mean? You got to be careful when you're out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
you go in a rowboat or something. You put a life jacket on.
yeah,
You know what I mean? We got a life jacket for our dog because you never
yeah.
know. She gets excited, she jumps off the boat. You know what I mean? And
Or
it's got a handle, so it helps me get her out of the water. You know,
and then
but
the other thing,
even
yeah,
then,
yeah.
my brother-in-law had one. I don't know if Tundra had his on. Okay, he didn't have his life jacket on. My brother-in-law, like his
The
dog's
dog,
life jacket, because
yeah,
he grows so fast, right? So he didn't have a chance to buy another one, and he had trouble getting his dog in his boat.
shit.
I
So
mean, that'd be the day where I fucking be sorry, but I wouldn't get my dog back in the boat. Like what I mean, we didn't let her in the front of the pontoon until we knew she wasn't just gonna jump. And if we have an inkling of okay, maybe she might jump there if we get close to shore or something, we get her inside the fenced so called fenced in area
yeah,
because we want to make sure that everybody who comes with us comes back with us.
yeah. You see the picture behind our video chat scene here, and the dog's sitting there, and right in the middle, you can see the latch by that white wheel, right? I opened the latch because Contlego is the driver behind me, and I open the thing. She walks out to the front patio of the pontoon, and she lies down right there. And then you catch the fish. Okay, anybody can get excited to get up, go check what's going on.
Yeah.
So
So
she don't jump in because apparently from something happened in the past, and she fell in. It probably stalled her.
that was at the that was off the dock, but yeah, it's
But
just that
still,
we make sure that she doesn't jump in. We make sure that she's okay. I mean, from the dog to everybody that's with us, kids, life jackets. I don't
yeah,
care if they like it or not. Any kid that comes with us has a life jacket on. You know what I mean?
yep.
Whether like I mean, it was my nephews and my aunt's daughter, everybody. I mean, it's like they have to wear a life jacket
I don't care.
because
I
I
don't
don't
care.
care how. Oh, sorry.
I don't care how good you are of a swimmer. If you're an Olympic swimmer, you're in my boat. Jacket. The jacket is what? A seatbelt.
Well, there's that. What happens if you fall overboard and hit your head? You ain't gonna be swimming too good then.
No. Um. Don't. Do you have the life jackets? You go around your waist from your man give you.
You can't use those anymore.
My dad had this life jackets. It's just like a little tube around your waist, and it ties up like a life jacket. It's like around your waist. It's like a dinghy tube, almost.
Yeah.
That's how I can explain it. And we survived with that all the years, and now
Yeah,
since
but the problem with that is that if you were unconscious,
you might go,
it wouldn't keep your head out of the water. Okay,
you go
what
upside down.
that's why you got to be careful when you buy them. There's ones that are, I mean, life jackets, and then they
Hmm.
got life preservers or whatever.
For
There's
sporting
two
goods.
different names, right?
Yeah,
There's one that's the life jacket. It'll
yeah,
save your life. The other one just keeps you afloat. But if you're passed out, you could still get your face in the water. The whole
yeah,
idea is you got to get something that keeps your face out of the water so that if you're out of it, like if you hit your head on the way down, you're still gonna live.
Like the
Because if
Mustang,
you,
right?
your face stays in the water and you're breathing in water, well, guess what? You're not gonna live too long.
It's like the Mustangs, right? The Mustang life jackets, and then they're about that thin on your chest, and when you hit the water, it goes.
Yeah. Well,
Or
there's that,
sometimes,
but the thing is that it's got to be able to, if you hit face first, it flips you over.
yes,
That's that's why the ones with the kids have the big halo around their head there,
yeah,
because that
yeah,
will float. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It'll float them.
And it had a little
Yeah, it's
like
got a little handle too. Yeah.
a little strap. You go, oh, got you guys.
Well, same thing with the dog one. The dog one
Yeah.
has a strap, and then
Mm-hmm.
you pick up, yank them out of the water,
Yep.
and then it's all in safety. Like you got to be whatever you do, you got to be safe at it.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and don't drink when you're in the boat. If you're the driver, don't do drugs. Don't do any of that.
You
I
know,
know, it's an old thing. They're all let's go fishing and drinking.
because
Save your drinking for the fire.
or in the cottage, whatever whatever. So I know somewhere in Quebec, because I know people fish in Quebec, and guy goes, so you got the beer ready? The guy looks at him. What do you mean the beer? Because when we're going fishing and bring your beer with us, that's what we do. He goes, he thought Canada was like all through Canada. You shouldn't drink, right?
You can't. There is no drinking and driving in Quebec, dude. They just don't care about it.
Well, in the boat,
Like just like you can drink in the street. You can walk down the street with beer in your hand. You can't do that in Ontario, but you can do it in Quebec, or at
yeah.
least you used to be able to do it in Quebec. But just because you can doesn't mean you can drive too, right?
I talk about a boat wise.
Doesn't matter. It's still a motorized vehicle. I don't know if they really get hyper with rowboats there, but if they would have saw you rowing our boat, they would have probably gave you a breathalyzer because they probably thought you were drunk.
I remember.
When that guy gets to shore, he's getting the breathalyzer.
I still remember your grandfather looking at the cottage with the binoculars and going, "What's wrong with you guys?" And then he goes, then he it looked like Cross Lego come up the dock going, Sean,
Yeah, you were yelling at me, man. I said, dude, how about you watch where you're going?
Okay.
Whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna give you an example of what I do. Okay, I don't go like this. See where I'm going. What I do,
There was more to it than that, my friend.
no, I'm just saying this is an example. I said I'm gonna give you an example.
I mean, it was funny. Don't get me wrong, but I can tell you weren't too happy.
We didn't fish that day. We went back home. He said, get in the back.
We were just going for a boat ride. I mean,
Yeah.
we were just doing the boat ride thing. I mean,
Yeah,
and then
you tell me get in the back. So I said okay.
and I said, okay, we'll move so we can actually get home there. You know.
I can see your grandfather there looking at the dock. He comes on the dock, he's shaking his head. He looks at me, goes.
He knew it was you, man. Like
And then your father says, you got one strong arm and you got one weak arm. The strong arm doing all the work. Consigo says, no, it's just Sean.
it's not only do you don't have direction sense.
Yeah.
You don't pay attention to what you're doing.
People ask me that question the other day, or we're sitting outside. He goes, if you go in the bush, and do you know where you go back if you get lost? I said, dude, direction sense, don't ask me that question because you'd be lost forever.
Yeah, you would need a little yarn or rope, and then you would tie it where you start, and then you'd have to follow it back.
Or get those yellow ribbons or those orange ribbons and attach you to the tree.
Yeah. See, the thing too is if you go in the bush a lot, it's always a good idea to learn how to use a compass
I
and
don't.
know where you are. Because if you don't know where you are in this world, make sure you go with somebody that knows. Because that's why why so many people get lost. Because it's so easy to get lost in the bush.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about getting lost. Me and my cousin were sitting there on the road, or standing on the road, waiting for our sisters because we were going to go to walk to the store. We were in front of his grandfather's lot, which is now his. And they said, okay, well, he turns around to me. He's like, his grandfather made a lot of trails, like cross country ski trails,
Right.
went all over the place. And he says, you want to go in my papa's trail? I said, yeah, let's go. So we walked. We got lost because we got turned around. And then what we did is we stood still. We looked around. We saw. Then we were looking for something that we saw familiar. Okay, that's familiar over there. How about we walk that way? So we finally came out. We must have been lost for like an hour, if not more. And we were waiting for the girls, right? We come out of the trail, and who do we see walking up the driveway? The girls. We didn't tell anybody. We looked at each other. Nobody knows. Nope. My wedding, I told his mom.
Oh, Yvonne.
Yeah. I didn't want
Okay.
to see his name there, but yeah. Because we used to hang out all the time. Because he's born in December. I'm born the January after. He was born in 72 in December.
Yeah.
And I was born in 73 in January.
So you're older than him. Okay, not by much.
No.
Okay.
He's about a couple weeks older than I am.
Okay.
Just a couple weeks, right? So we're pretty well the same age. And the same thing with his sister and my
Your
sister.
sister?
They're pretty well the same age.
That's cool.
She's got a cottage there too. You know what I mean? She has a cottage. Rex has got a cottage there. Kids go there.
So that's the one you're trying to set me up with.
He tried to set you up with two of his sisters and his mom.
I know his mom says no.
They knew he was joking. He was joking, man.
I know.
Because they're all single, right?
You said. He said, "Son, you got any girlfriend, Sean?" No. He goes, "You single man for."
Well, he goes, he goes, well, they're single. I said, hey, man, he's single.
Yeah, at his wedding there, you're all you see him pop up. Sean, this is free. And then Lisa turns around and says, "Go ask her dance."
Yeah.
Did I dance? No.
You don't dance. I can't dance and I can't sing.
Well, the other day we were talking about fishing, right? And you go, do people sing in the boat? I said, some people do, but I don't.
No, you scared the fish away.
That's the thing. Your mom thought it was there was a pack of wolves in the back of the fire pit, the old fire pit. We had that fire pit there.
That was your dad. Thought that two wolves were killing each other on that tape that you made.
No. Before that, remember we were at the cottage?
That was way before, man. In the red truck?
Yeah. But besides that, remember your mom painting the old picnic table?
Boom.
Yeah. You remember your mom painting the picnic table?
Yeah.
And then she goes, I'm thinking to myself over there, do my own thing. Something because your mom told me to go do that, right? So I started thinking to myself. Your mom looks at you. Do I hear a wolf coming in the yard? He goes, why? He goes, listen. He goes, oh, that's Sean.
Yeah. Your dad there.
Well,
remember that tape?
Well, when I was a kid, when I was younger, I should say, I wanted to be famous, like on stage or whatever, right? And I made a tape. My dad grabbed the tape. You got my tape, Sean? You borrowed off me? Yeah, I gave the wrong one, I guess. I don't know, right? And my dad looked at my mom. Goes, what the fuck is this? Excuse my language. My dad threw it out the window. Ejected the old the old cassette player. Press the
Yeah.
button. It goes inside flat like this, and when you press the button, it pops out. You went. Boop.
Oh yeah.
Then he gets home at the end of the right tape. He goes, "Wow, he still got his moose, no matter what."
Well, it sounded like two moves dying for.
Why did you just yell my name out?
Roll. Yeah.
You remember playing a hockey game on the computer, and then everybody going, "Strong, it's your turn. Strong, it's your turn."
Yeah, that's what I say to when you're not paying attention. That's how I call you. Roar. You hear me then? Yeah. Oh, what do you want now, man? I want you to pay attention. It's free. Main plea, same thing.
Yeah, those trails are nice. I've been in the trails once in my life at the camp.
I brought my wife in those trails.
And then we went to one time, and your grandfather.
Yeah, we did. We went in those trails right behind where the tower is.
Where we drop off the minnows in the bush.
Just because you don't remember doesn't mean it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, because your grandfather told us sometimes, okay, just be careful, watch for the bears, right? And we seen a lot of rabbits going by, you and I.
Wow. Bears don't want to do anything with you. It's just if you have food and they're hungry, where are they going to be, right? Where they're going to be.
You remember my story I told you a while back in the past, and I still talk about it once in a while. I had my sister, my little sister, and friends of the family. Her kids were there, right? And then my niece was there. Remember, I was in the tree. I was pretending I was like a bear, and the blueberry went flying in the air. And then I fell out of the tree and hit the ground, and then the bear started chasing me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ran. They're all looking at me, and then when the bear got to the Peter Long Lake campsite, and he stopped at the line where the road ends, getting to the camp, he looks up, looks around. From what the guy told me, he looks up. Bear looks around, and then go back down and went back into the bush where he went. He says the music was loud. I guess the music started because each campsite had their own different kind of music. We don't know what music was good or what music was bad.
Yeah. Well, all the drunk people and everything.
Yeah. So Bear just I told my dad that. My dad says, "You're supposed to bend over and kiss your arse goodbye." So I had no time. I just went.
No, you're supposed to throw poo at it, man. You're supposed to throw the crap at it. Where are you gonna find it? In your shorts.
Yeah.
That's what he told the one kid there.
Yeah. My brother's ex-girlfriend, his son, and then he says, if you're chased by a bear in the bush, right? You see a bear in the bush, and you start running. You start running after you. You climb your tree, and you waited 2 hours in the tree. Make sure he's gone, right? And then you wait another half hour. Make sure he's gone for sure before you come down. And the bear comes back with 2 beavers. What happened?
They cut down.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? The kid goes. The kid looks at him. I don't know.
And he goes, yeah.
Me and Carl Lego were just laughing our butt off on it because it's funny. The way he said it was more funnier than I said it.
Yeah. He had that old French accent too, so that made it a little bit better too.
Yes. It's like those videos there, the guy's fishing. Oh, fish over there. I got fuck. Oh.
Yeah. See over there? I caught fricol over there. Then I went over there and I caught some more fricol. And then over here, I brought a lot of fricol.
And then the other one says, I got something freaking big on the ground there. I don't know if it's the whale or something. I don't know what it is.
Then there was that one there where the guy was bringing in a fish, and there was like 2 or 3 other ones following that one fish, and he netted like 3 fish.
Yeah, I can't find that video nowhere.
Then there's that one video I seen where the guy goes, have you experienced where your friend's lackluster netting skills? Yep. It's, what I mean? That lawyer there, remember?
Yeah.
He's yeah. But hey, man, not everybody's an expert.
No, it takes practice to get better at well.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah.
gotta say this: your wife is better than I am, because
And,
she goes in like this and out like that.
well, the thing is you gotta put it underneath the fish and it came out.
I know that's what
I
she
don't
does.
know when you were doing that. Go like this on the bottom, like from the top around. I
Yeah, I
don't know where
know.
you got that from. I've never seen that,
And he
and
says to me,
obviously it doesn't work either. So
and
I'm
then
just let you know.
he always
If
tells
you
me,
net like that, don't.
well, he says to me, Sean boy, that's how I lost my big pike. I said,
Well,
I know I did. And then the first time we had I don't know what size it was, the pike or walleye, what it was, but Contago was more positive. It was a big pike. And I
okay,
was
man.
using it. I was using a dollar store lure, and he says, I don't blame the netting. I blame the net. Why? Because the net was too small.
You lost me so many pike.
That's what you said.
That's at least three that I know of. And my
Yeah,
wife lost one, so
I'm
that's
not.
four.
I, I'm not afraid to admit my mistakes. Like some people say, I don't remember that. I don't remember doing that. I'm okay with it because
Yeah, you gotta admit that you suck at something. And then, but the thing is you learn from it, and
I
then now
did.
you net differently.
I know.
So it's not the fact that you did something wrong. What the fact is if you learn from it,
Yep.
that's a huge difference.
So people say, "Oh, you don't know how to do it because you're not doing it anymore. You're not good at it." Which Costello always says, "Go ahead, keep doing that. It'll get better."
See, the thing is it's easy to take something from somebody and do it yourself. It's easy,
Yep.
easier than to explain it. But if you can explain it and have somebody learn from you explaining, then you accomplish something bigger than just netting something.
Yes.
Like
I'm a kind of.
to me, that's it's a better to do it that way than it is to just say no, no. I'm just going to take the net and I'm netting. You know what I mean,
Or some people go straight. Cause you're bringing the fish in like this. The head's coming in towards the boat. Some people go take their net under the water, and then get the head in and go. Boom.
yeah. And it's a lot easier if the net's bigger than the fish. That's true.
Yeah.
Also, you got to be careful because if the holes between the netting is too big, right, then the fish can go through and he gets tangled up. And then
Well,
there's some people who just pull the fish out of the water without waiting for a net. I don't know who
and
does that.
your your son there, your stepson there, he looks at me and goes, "I had the net, Sean. Really?
How many fish have you lost for yanking it out of the water? You don't have to explain. Yeah, more than five. Nice try.
I said 4.
Well, more than four. That was just last year.
I'm not counting the years and all those years.
Man, all the years you were okay. Here's another thing too. You're in a rowboat. What do you do in a rowboat? You
Sit
sit down.
down.
Okay. The only time you get up is when you get in and when you get out. All right. So, Mister here gets excited when he catches a fish, or even gets a bite, which is okay. That's good that he gets excited. I mean, my parents think it's awesome. He still gets excited with the fishing like that.
And then I'm 52 years old.
So we're sitting there in a rowboat, and all of a sudden he starts standing up, yanking on his rod like it's something else. And I tell him, Sean, sit down, just reel in. They'll bite it. You know what I mean? This ain't bass. This not trout. This is either pike or it's walleye. They bite. All right, sits down, stands back up. Sean,
And he goes the boat after.
boy. I'm going to tell you one more time, because there ain't no 3 strikes and out with this guy. This ain't baseball. I'm telling you. Next time you get up, you're going to pay the stupid tax. All right.
I said, "What's that?" You figure it out.
You'll find out.
I stood up again. I got a bite. There's no fish on it, just a bite. My bait's gone. I reeled it in. I'm standing up, put my line on, and I got my hands in front of me like this. Then I get, "Hey, stop that!" Well,
so I'm sitting at the back because I'm where the motor is, and I take the boat. I do this thing. He says, "Well, I nearly fell." Exactly. Sit your arse down. So you know what?
And then
the rest of the day, he did not stand up like that.
And and then the other time we went back out.
Mm-hmm.
I never stand up again. I went back out again. Never stand up again. And your dad says, "You learned once." Consejo says, "You did. You learn fast."
Man, I don't baby people. You know what I mean? You gotta learn. When I say something, you gotta sit down. You gotta sit down.
Well, back in the day, back in our time, we learned, right? You get F around, you find out.
If it was back in my day, there wouldn't be just a little bit of tipping in the boat. John Boy would have been in the water. That's how much it would have rocked.
Yes.
If it was somebody else. I mean, it's like, all right, just the fear of going overboard is enough to say, hey, okay, whoa. But the thing is we had our life jackets on.
Yep.
Why? Because we were in a small boat.
Yeah. And then we had a blast doing that when we were kids. And I learned, even his grandfather says, "I see you standing in the boat again. What's the rules?" Sit down. Good boy.
There's rules. And we had the rules are there for a reason, right? Just like at work, they have rules. Some people don't like them, but you know what? Every single rule is put in place
for safety
because somebody got hurt or killed or unalived. Sorry, I shouldn't use the K word. Got unalived because basically that's what it is.
People got injured, and then you got
somebody got hurt or got unalived.
Yeah.
Having to wear a life jacket, that's one of them. So what? There's 9 million types of life jackets out there. There's going to be one that fits somebody.
I might need a new one.
Yeah, I need one too there. Yeah.
But my yellow one there, I like my yellow one because it's bright. You can see me.
Yeah. That's another thing too. You got to be seen.
Yes. There's orange because a lot of life jackets now are made with fluorescent orange now.
Well, that's another thing too. It's like because so many people were wearing the blue ones and then the darker ones, and you can't see them in the water.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the fluorescent ones, and then if they shine a light, it's like blaze orange or fluorescent yellow.
It's like the workers' jackets you wear with the cross on the back of their vest.
Yeah, the PPE. Yeah, and you know what? It wouldn't be a bad idea if they took those stripes that glow in the dark, like shine when lights are on them, to put that on a life vest.
Yeah,
to me that would make sense. That way, you can shine a light and it's there, right? So and yeah, it might blind you there if you try to put a light on and you hit the dude in front of you. But you know what? Just aim your flashlight better.
So if you're fishing, you're doing night fishing, right? Doing night fishing, people are looking for you and they shine a light on you. If you're not wearing your life jacket, you won't see you. If you're wearing a life jacket, you might see, like you said, you get the stripes on them in the back or whatever, right?
Well, you can always get one of those blaze orange shirts, right? Yeah, they're not cheap. There's also little vests there, like mesh vests. I got.
Yeah.
You can wear that if you really want, and especially when it comes around hunting time, you definitely want to be seen.
Yeah.
And then you should have lights on when you're fishing in the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I want to get a second battery there. Not a lead acid, but like we were talking about there, because you
Yeah.
get your lead acid battery to start your boat, then you got your lithium ion, right? Iron phosphate or whatever. You got different kinds.
Right.
You get a big one for that for all your lighting. And then what you do is you have a battery switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that you turn it off the starting battery so that you don't lose all your battery power for
Yeah.
that, right? And then you switch it to the middle, and
Yeah.
then you start your boat, and then it charges both batteries as you go home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you seen this video on Facebook? You know that Russian buys all these stuff in like a little box. You get to you know what's in it. It's like a mystery box.
Nope.
The Russian, you know. Hi there, I bought this there. I don't know what's in the box there. You got the Russian accent. You buy
Nope.
you bought the axe, this axe, special axe. You cut wood real fast. Or
Mm-hmm.
if you've seen him, you might remember him,
Mm-hmm.
right? He bought these matches. I don't. They seem cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them.
No. Why?
The reason why I don't like them because they're this long and with this big around, right? You lay them up like your normal
Mm-hmm.
matches, right? On a little on a little sandpaper paper, but we'll call it like sandpaper.
Yeah,
You
striker. Yeah.
light it up there, and then you have a little cup beside them. You put the match in the water.
Yeah, I seen that one. I sent that to you.
That's the Russian guy I'm talking about.
Yeah, but those matches are good because you can't put them out in water. So if it's raining, you can start a fire.
I know, but you got a forest fire. It ain't good.
Well, you don't start a fire now, do you?
No.
No, but it's nice matches, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
There you go. Somebody saying hi there, Sean.
I know. You didn't hear me. I said, "Oh, nice."
Yeah, we'll say hi. What are
I'm
you,
working.
rude?
No, I'm not rude. I'm on it.
Well, speak. They can hear you.
Oh, hey. Hello.
Why are you typing?
Yeah. So
You forget they can hear you now?
yes,
Yeah, still not used to it. It's only 18 in there, dude.
I
We're
know.
still,
I know.
we're still pretty new at this stuff.
I should be used to this talking to people who comes in because
Mm-hmm.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, some people don't like talking. I mean, it's the same thing when, some people start where there's a radio. They don't like talking over the radio. I mean, you just got to get over it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's something that you have to do, right? It's just like at work there. I'm on the radio quite a bit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
There you go.
And he's got a comment there going and saying one of the first live I've finally seen.
Nice. Well, thanks for dropping by.
That's the one. That's the one you met in TikTok.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Yeah,
The girl?
Halo.
Yeah. Awesome.
We get people in here. Some people don't like it because one guy comes in here once in a while. He says, "I gotta prove the way I talk."
What's wrong with the way you talk? I understand you fully.
Of course, you know Chinese.
Man, I got a whole dictionary. What are you talking about? I got the Shawnese dictionary.
Well, yeah.
Your mom even asked me what you said sometimes.
She don't see me in a while, and she goes, "Looks like you."
Dude, it's still your mom. I mean, I don't understand.
I know.
Go up there, I start talking. My mom pretty well understands what I'm saying.
I
if
remember
it gets to the point where she doesn't understand me, I need to go to the hospital because I'm probably getting a stroke here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was funny. That was funny.
Well,
even your brother thought that was funny. It's
wait.
We go up. It was when they lived on
Pine.
No, not Pine. It was right by Bambi's there.
Yeah, Pine. Bambi Castle's not Pine.
Oh yeah, true. No, my bad. So That's where they took the door off of the fridge instead of the door off of the house.
And then
Anyway,
Andre loses the screws.
he was more. He lost more than screws that day. He was lost when he got there. So
My dad told him, go back outside, have another smoke.
But your dad went with it. I don't know what happened there.
I know.
I just walked away, man. Anyway, that's another story. But we walked in there the one day we were going to go pick up your brother. And you started saying something. And then she looks over at me and she goes, what did he say? Oh, he said this. Oh, okay. And it took me 1/4 of the time to tell her what you said than what you actually said stuff.
Yep.
It's like Chinese, eh? Hello? How's it going? He's like, Sean, what's going on? Or I used to always tell Sean that he wouldn't notice boobs in the strip bar.
That's from the
we brothers. Yeah, that's from Four Brothers. They say it differently, but I'm trying to, make it family. Yeah, the Four Brothers, because the cops like you who wouldn't notice in the strip bar, I made a good living. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't come up with it. It was from the movie Four Brothers. So we walk into that same house, and she decorated. So I turn around. Sean doesn't say a word. His brother didn't say a word. I look up. Hey, that's nice lights. You just put them up. She goes, at least somebody noticed.
And then
I said, you got to think about it. Your two kids wouldn't notice in the strip bar, and you're expecting them to notice your lights. Or the time when it was on
Kimberly.
In Kimberly, where you didn't. He goes, where's the sock I gave you? I said, Sean, it's behind her.
She shook her head at him.
It's big. It's this big, and it's purple.
It's like,
you can't miss this thing.
It's
the only way, it almost slapped him in the face. Okay, so I'm going, Sean, it's over there, and then she's like shaking her head,
and she's laughing.
And that's where I turned around. Oh, she was almost upset at you, dude, because you were trying to accuse her of not putting up your sock. Okay. We won't get there. We won't go there.
Now the sock, she can't find it now.
Well, yeah, it's because she moved and somebody probably jammed it somewhere.
Like my sister.
It's probably hung up.
No, my sister made my sister Nikki made my mom sold most of her shit. Sorry, my language. Most of her stuff.
Yeah. We're not gonna get into your family dynamics.
So
we don't have. That would be a whole different podcast, my friend.
Yes. Hey, Louise.
Louise?
So, yeah, a lady in the building.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice lady, though. Very nice lady.
Well, yeah. Only nice people join our podcast, man. Come on.
Yeah. I sent the podcast to Bobby. He never showed up yet. Or probably did. He probably did. He didn't talk. He just listened, and then you got bored. That's the one who gets bored fast. It's over an hour. He gets bored. He shuts it off.
Well, kids today.
So, don't forget to like the thing, comment,
share,
subscribe, and share it.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm talking to myself.
Apparently,
you're all left me hanging there.
Oh.
I know. What the other night I went to on TikTok, see some of my friends again. Right, they're fishing on the boat, doing their lives. Right, so I said I'm gonna do a live for crap out of it because I want maybe do a segment, just talk about
whatever
my top lures I use for fishing, the one I use most, and then tell them why I always go back to jigs because it works.
Yeah.
Right. So. I went in my live. I did a live one night. It was maybe 11:30 at night. I was just couldn't sleep. So we were talking about lures and stuff like that. And I got these 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds in there, in the box with me. I can't see their face. They can see nothing in their face because you can go live in the box without showing your face before you get your
Yeah,
max live.
because I did one of yours.
Yeah. So
It was before we did this podcast. I went live and with your friend there.
yeah, you
She showed up. Yeah.
remember that kid there trying to
Oh
talk
yeah,
something?
the one about the one I booted. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I had kids in there, and I'm talking away about things, and then they're over talking, and then they're ignoring me, and they're talking to their friends. So I went mute, 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 mute. Oh, all six of them.
Well, that's it. If you're not gonna be part of it, then why are you joining it? Like, you know, what I mean, I know. I mean, I'm not sitting here can baby anybody. I don't baby nobody when it comes to stuff like that.
No.
Like if I join yours, right, and we're talking.
Mm.
We're talking about whatever the topic that you want to talk about because it's your life, right? And you know, if I were to make a live, like if I ever get to that point there where I have enough subscribers there, but
Yeah.
make live, whatever I want to talk about, that's what we're talking about. And if somebody wants to talk about somebody else, but it's like it's a conversation with the people that are in that live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. And if
And
you don't
then
want to be part of that, then go make your own live. They probably can't because they don't have enough subscribers.
no, not that. Cause it used to be 13 to join TikTok,
Yeah,
14 to be a live broadcast.
yeah.
But now it got to be 18 now because since COVID came around, all these adults like us start doing something because we have to stay home all the time.
Well, you know those ones there that show questionable content.
Yeah, yeah.
They should have it where they can flag it to that, and if somebody wants to see that, they can
Click
have
on it.
it. There could be a setting to say, yeah, show me adult content.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, just like with YouTube, is this adult content when you upload stuff? They should have the same thing with TikTok.
Yes.
I'm not saying don't make that type of content. If that's what you want, then that's what go do it. You do you. But if you know, I mean, I got a 15-year-old or a 13-year-old flipping through TikTok. I don't want them to see that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like it's I mean,
Because sometimes.
not really fair because there is some funny stuff on TikTok, but I find there's a lot more of it's getting more like YouTube now,
Yes.
where they're trying to. Too many people are trying to say that they can do whatever, and then and they're not doing it right, and you know, there are some people that do it right,
Mm-hmm. And
and
then
all this stuff about Gen X and stuff. Yeah, I'm Gen X. So are you. You know
yeah.
what? Um,
Move on.
it was different back in the day. You know what I mean? Just like, I mean, I was born in '73.
Yeah.
Same thing with you.
Mm-hmm.
And in the late '70s, early '80s, it was different. The world was different.
We,
There wasn't
we,
so many people that got upset about anything. So, and then the thing is I was taught, I mean, right and wrong, respect, and all that stuff.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if I knew when I made a mistake, that at this moment he knew he effed up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I effed up. I knew. My mom gave me that look, and I calmed my crap down. And that's what it was. Because I knew if I kept on going, it would not be to the benefit of my life. You know what I mean? They
Well,
wouldn't have killed me, but I would have learned real quick why that was wrong. We knew it was right and wrong. And now it doesn't seem that way. Like I'm not trying to get all political here, but
no,
it's
no.
different now. It's different now. So people see how we lived back in the day, and then they go, "Well, this, and that." We had two choices when it came to dinner: take it or leave it. They didn't. My mom didn't make 15 meals. The only thing that I didn't have to eat was hamburger because I'm allergic to it. I can't eat hamburger, any beef. I can't eat that because I get really upset stomach, And back when I was a kid, I'd used to toss my cookies. So I obviously my mom's not going to force me to eat that, but she's not going to make it so they can't eat it, right? So they would eat the beef, and I would eat something else, you know. So my grandmother would make roast, beef roast, and I would have rice because I couldn't eat the beef roast because it was beef. But why should they stop eating beef? Because I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told the wife, I said I can't eat beef, but doesn't mean that you can't. If you want a hamburger, you want hamburger, you want the, I can cook this stuff, but I can't eat it. You know, okay, not a big problem, right? It's all good. I'm not gonna force somebody to stop eating stuff just because I can't. That's not how the world works. Well, it does
No,
now there, but I'm
I
just saying that's how my world works.
I seen
When you
I
come to
seen
my house, you come to my house. There's certain rules. Doesn't matter how old you are. You can be 99. You can be, 5 years old. There's rules. You got to respect the people that are in there, and then uh, everybody treats everybody with dignity. And if you're rude to somebody, don't be surprised when I tell you to get the hell out of my house. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
And it upsets me when people are very rude and don't show respect to people who deserve the respect.
Yeah,
You know,
and
all these
I see
people
it.
that are putting these people down that served our country.
Yeah,
You know? Like my grandfather was in the Second World War, was shot down in a prisoner of war camp, and these people are just saying whatever. No,
mm-hmm.
these people seeing their friends die. They came back different people. These men came back different men. They weren't the same, because you can't see somebody that you call a friend die and not be sorry unalived, friggin' sue it, die and not have something in here not you know be the same,
Right.
and it affects you. My grandfather never really talked about the war much, but what he did say is the people that was uh, holding him prisoner ate the same thing they ate. They weren't the evil men that they talk about in the movies and the shows. These guys were decent people. They put them. Uh, they had to hold them. That's what's their job. But they didn't get any more food than the prisoners got. My grandfather hurt his leg, but you never saw that he limped a day in his life because they fixed his leg. You know, so I mean, there's little things like that. And then I'm not trying to get too political or anything like that. But it's different. It was different when we were younger. You know, same thing with boating, fishing, and whatever. It wasn't like back in the day there when I was younger. The drinking and boating was a totally different thing. People would drink and go boating. It was not a big thing. Now it is, right? So I don't know. Not that
And that's why
I digress, man. I'm sorry I went off tangent there, but you know what I mean.
that's fine.
It's just what it is, right? Like we're Generation X. Yes, I drank from the garden hose. You know why? Because I was too darn lazy to go in and get a glass, fill it with water, drink it, and then wash it, and then put it back. So I said, you know what? I'll just take the hose because I don't have to wash the hose. I don't have to put it back.
I
I have
used
to put it back, but I'm just saying. Usually it's somewhere. I go to where the hose are. I turn on the hose. I drink from it, and then I'm done. I'm hydrated. Well, that's why I swam a lot. I drank the water I swam in. You know what I mean? Like who cares?
it's like me. If I'm somewhere, I used to be in the boat. Me and my brother were in the boat, and I go with my brother. I should have brought him a drink, right? And I got a cup in my hand, right? And I took the minnow net. Okay, I strained the water right into the minnow net into the cup.
Yeah.
And I drank it, and then I'm fine.
Well, I've had it where we're sitting in a boat, and then you just reach over with a cup, drink that water.
Or take your hand, you go. You
Yeah.
get your,
Or when you're hot, you just put your hat in there. You know.
yeah, and
Oh,
then
that-
the kids go, oh, I just bought this hat. It cost me $85. I don't want to do that. Well, don't bring it in the bush.
yeah, man. Yeah. Stuff like that. I mean,
I used,
it was a different time back then. It was a different time. We seem to be able to enjoy ourselves more back then because there
yes,
wasn't so many stupid restrictions.
no,
Like the government can't, I mean, to say that you can't do whatever or what. Come on, man. It's like if you're that, you got to be smart about it, about certain things. And there's so many restrictions due to, they think they have to think for us. All right.
my father used to take. I know my dad can't run properly because his injuries he had from his
Yeah.
work field he did when we were younger.
Yeah.
You can't reach me. Get over here to give me a lesson to if I mess up or something, right? I f around and
Yeah.
I find out after, right? You can't reach me. Lego could confirm this. He goes, he takes a 2x4, a long 2x4, like a 6 foot 2x4, and I'm not paying attention because he calls me all the time and talking to me. He's mad at me or something. He goes, took just a little tap. I'm like, what? Get over here. I'm like, okay, I'm coming. If I don't move, I get double shot or triple shot.
That's where I started doing the call because I knew you heard that.
So yeah, so back to day, it was good times, and we learned our lessons. And now today, we say something to our child.
Well, the thing
You know,
is, I mean, this thing there where you time out or, oh, you shouldn't do that. No, that doesn't. You know how kids learn through pain. You know what I mean? Like how did you learn how to put wood in the fire? You got
burning
burnt.
my. Remember you on top of the stove? You put log in, you got stuck there. You burn your hand.
I burnt myself. So I can't count how many times. Or you cut yourself, or something happens. I mean, big deal.
I'm a grown man now. I still cut myself.
Yeah. We won't. Yeah. You should have just taken your tampons and put that on your finger. Anyway,
Well,
we won't go there.
it's like Conflico said to me in the past. It was about 4 weeks ago now. It'll be almost 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And he says, you know how I done? Says, yes, I know. I thought I was typing to his wife because his wife was talking to Lego at the time about it, right? I was talking to her because he was busy doing something. He goes, what's wrong with Sean now? And then I said something. He goes, and then I'm typing it as what I was saying, and she said same thing I was saying but different wording, right? I said I should just look like Lego did, just wrap it up with Kleenex and electrical tape.
Oh yeah.
And
Electro tape, man. It's awesome bandage because it's waterproof. It can be waterproof. Doesn't unstick. I mean, and you can put it as tight as you need. You know. So every first aid kit should have electrical tape. I swear, man, it should be.
And then I get to the hospital. I told the nurse what my buddy said to me. She goes, "Did your buddy get hurt a lot?" I said, "Basically, he broke through a window because he forgot his keys in his house, so he went through the window. The parents were gone. So trying
Well,
to
the thing was, the window was already broken, and we had a piece of foam in there. So I figured I'd be smart enough. I'd punch through the foam and then I'd replace it, right? Because I was the one that put the foam in there in the first place. Well, I didn't notice that there was a piece of glass sticking out, jammed into my thumb. I said, well, damn. Okay. So I took the piece of glass out, you know what I mean? Go put it in the garbage, went through the foam, slid it down, put the foam back, right? Put Kleenex up and down my thumb, took the electrical tape, put it on, double rolled it, right? Put another thing because it was bleeding a lot, so I had to put another layer. Went to the bank because I was going to the bank at this point.
yes.
Went to the bank, did that with the thing on my thumb, right? Woman at the bank didn't even say a thing. did whatever I needed to do. Came home, changed the Kleenex, put more, right? And technically, I should have got stitches because it took quite a few years for it to not open again. So yeah,
Yeah.
but still, hey, why would I go to the hospital when I could still use it? You know what I mean?
You and my brother-in-law had the same mentality about duct tape and electrical tape.
Man, electrical tape can fix anything. They
And
say
he goes,
duct tape? No. Electrical tape.
well, but my brother-in-law says he shows his knuckle, right?
Mm-hmm.
He saw almost all the bone. He just went with electrical tape, and he didn't use Kleenex. He used paper towel.
Yeah, same thing.
So he would put it on there, and his wife he had in the past before she passed, right? Told him to go to the hospital. I'll be fine. And now you and him look at me. See, we're smart. We stay home. Be a man.
Yeah. Be a man. Yeah.
I see a new one the other day on TikTok. He says, he said, when you go to the washroom, leave the stall door open. Be a man.
Yeah. Don't go to the hospital. Die on your front lawn. Be a man.
Hi to whoever joined the chat.
Want somebody else?
Yeah, the number 2 in there. I don't know if it's your wife or your son.
There's been 3 for a bit though.
Yeah, it was.
2 on Facebook.
Oh, there you go. There's 3 now.
Yeah, 2 on Facebook, 1 on Twitch.
Yeah, there's 2. There actually 3.
3 now.
Including me.
3 now. 4 now. Yeah, 4 altogether.
Oh, by the way, as Tuesday just passed.
Yeah.
The docs are in.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
That's good. Took them long enough. Freaking city, man. It's unreal.
Well, you have to wait for the water level to go down a bit.
Dude, it's been down for a long time.
I know. And they had the stuff on the side, and they're saying something about people stealing something. They're you know the wheels for the drag the docks into the water.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody stole it apparently.
Well, they wouldn't have been stolen if they put them in the freaking water. Guess what the docks do? They float.
I know. And they have a crane lift up. You know that crane you use for a THBS for the start.
Yeah.
Well, they use that to bring that into the water.
Think about it this way: they float. All they have to do is tighten how it connects to the shore.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever, man. It's like me saying I don't put my docks in until the water goes down.
Well, your dock's supposed to be in and out of the water, right? Because of where they are. And your dad says
freaking aluminum one.
You and your dad said no. You know what I'm thinking when you do these, right? Get some nice logs, and then put one in, drill a screw through it to the wood, and take the aluminum out. It would be perfect.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something to shore that aluminum up.
One's a little off, right?
It's been a pain in my arse for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I remember my dad and I fixing the wood dock that we made way back.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a while back. And
that's the one I
it'd be May, and we were sitting in there, because there's the ice does things to your dock. And we had 2 piers, right? And I looked it up. As long as the square footage of your piers do not equal more than 100 square feet,
you
don't have to get a permit. So, that's a good.
I remember
planning on it.
I remember back in the day, people usually build their dock, and then they build a boathouse on the side, right? They used to, and then they put their boat in there, and then they hoist it up out of the water, about this much out of the water, and they stayed there all winter.
Yeah, that'd be
But
nice.
now, it, if you go inside to build the walls inside and tear it down, you're okay. If you tear it down completely down and rebuild, it's a no now.
Yeah, you got to get a permit for that.
Now it's a different permit now. It's a different stupidity. And even Bob and I've been at Peter Long, Austin Lake. Ivan and Bob just. Bob went inside, framed it inside. There's no wood inside, and then took the old wood outside off, and then just covered it up, and then it didn't say nothing.
Wow, they got too many stupid restrictions because too many stupid people. Because what happens is people will build something, and it'll affect the wildlife.
Yeah.
Just like we used to have a neighbor there who'd play music so loud that ducks and whatever would not even get close. Because you play the radio at such a high level that was basically noise pollution.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing too. Is like I know people like to play music and whatever like that, but sometimes you should just listen to what's around because it's nice to hear, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is if you're playing loud music, you don't hear what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You need to hear what's going on.
Well, when I'm at the campfire, I play my radio, my music on my phone. It's not that loud.
No, but people play a lot of loud music.
And now you go to camp.
I mean, it's kind of fun and whatever, but sometimes, I've had it where we're sitting there in the boat, and then we got a loon that swims by us. If we were allowed that wouldn't have happened.
No, I used to get excited when I see a loon.
Yeah.
Now I don't get excited as much like I used to. Okay, anybody knows Dave Mercer? How he is when he's hyper in the boat. Okay, that's like me almost, but he's worse than I am. And I get excited when I get a bite there. I don't tell him fish on or nothing. I just go or something like that.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll have to take a look then.
If there's somebody up there. Oh, after I made that sound, you drop out.
Who?
I remember I told you I made a sound how I got hyper in the boat, and my leg goes like this in the air.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
And then now I made that sound. They dropped out. I scared them.
I kind of think a bit, but not much. Didn't think it made an effect.
So yeah, it was good old days fishing in the boat. I miss it.
Well, the thing is restrictions were a little bit different back then.
Yeah.
But you know what? There was always rules of all kids had to have their life jacket, and then in the rowboat, everybody had their life jacket. And
back in the day,
when the adults were doing their thing, you helped to a certain point, but when it came to the time to it, you don't get the F out of her way, because if something something happens, then we don't want you to be in there. And I'm pretty well the same. Like, if I'm in the middle of doing something, like would it come along or whatever, okay, don't be around. I'm gonna be here. If it hits somebody, it's gonna hit me, not everybody else.
Well, look at us that we did last year. We was Justin, your son, and then the rope snapped how many times on us, and we went flying. It hit me, but not as bad. If someone younger, it hurt more.
Possibly. We're getting old there or whatever. It's harder to put the boat on, but you got to do. You got to be safe. No matter what you do, you got to be safe.
We still got to figure out how to get that boat this year.
I got an idea, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We might do some work on that too.
We might put up our tripods up and do the boat.
Yeah. People should have fun watching that. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Okay. We, we got to be careful. We got to be careful for more things because the way we are, right? And then, and
well,
then, and
we'll
then
record it, but we won't go live. That way, we can bleep out any
yeah,
word.
yes, yeah. Because we sit there, we're on the ground sometimes, and we're under the boat trying to figure the rope how to tie it, right? Because we don't want to break the aluminum, right? So all we hear is other cars Lego, and I'm in the background. I said, "Shut up, you son of a that gets us done."
Yeah, all you'll be a whole long stretch of beep. We'll just mute everything because what's the use?
Yeah. So and then, that'd be
Hey
awesome.
man, if you don't swear at it, you ain't trying.
Because back in the like we were saying, well, back about generations, right? So back in the day, if you got, for example, for me, I took my fan apart and washed it, and you're trying to put it back together again. It's not going right. If you say the effort at it, you effing sakes, it goes back in.
Yeah, it learns. You might think it's an inanimate object, but it says, "Hey, okay, I don't want to catch nothing of this, so I'm going to go do what I'm supposed to be doing here." You know what I
And
mean?
then one time, Carl Lego was on his bike, it was not working, and he goes and he said something in certain words in French, and the bike.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah. But anyway, I think we're going to leave it at that for tonight.
It would have been almost. Well, we started at around quarter to 7.
It's an hour and 37 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. But anyway, I think we've talked a little bit about the safety of whatever, and you got to be safe, and you got to make sure that where you go, you leave it better,
Mm-hmm.
as good, if not better, than what you left it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times where I've gone, around, and we take plastic bottles and stuff like that out of the water. You know what I mean? Because it does happen. You go fast and stuff flies out of your boat, but I mean, you got to make sure.
We lost hats. We lost. I seen people losing tackle out of their boats because the waves. People
Yeah.
go by there because people just fishing like a canoe. Right? Canoe is not the safest boat in the world, but it works for what you got to do, right? And I see people go by real fast and I'm right across, and the boat going like this there, and then the guy
Yeah.
turns around. Where's his rod? It's in the water.
Yeah. Well, you got to hold on to it, man.
Well, sometimes
You got to pretend it's a member of your family here. You know what I mean?
the time jewels.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And
We want everybody to go out safe, come back to their families or wherever they want to come back to.
yeah.
And good luck with your fishing or
Even
hunting or whatever you do. Even if you go for a hike, you got to come back. In one piece.
even you're doing you're doing a fishing charter. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta be safe too.
Yeah, everything's gonna be safe. I live my life pretty safe. I work. It's the only thing. That's one of the big things I do at work is for safety, and I think about safety a lot, and it's important. It is. I want to get home to my wife, my dog,
And
my
the
family.
boys. Yeah, everybody. So, my dad
and everybody else should be able to leave in one piece. So you go out fishing. Save the drinking for when you get home.
Yeah. Make sure you got a life jacket in the boat all the time with you.
And if you're in a boat that's not a pontoon, wear it. Wear your life jacket.
I had my life jacket. I have my life jacket by the chair. It's on the ground by the chair. I'm okay. But they say a lot of things. You can have a life jacket in the boat, but you don't have to wear it.
Dude, they want you to have a bailing bucket in a pontoon boat. If you get to the point where you got to bail, you got bigger problems than freaking water in your boat.
Because the water gets in the boat, it just.
Yeah.
I can picture it right now in my head, the pontoon.
So the thing is they make rules, and it's for all boats, and they don't make it like they're if they start saying, well, with this boat you can have this or that and this, or this you can have this and that. The bigger boats need different things, like you don't you don't need whatever if you have an anchor, at least you have to have an anchor with at least 50 feet of rope, and it's all part of the boating thing, but
I passed it. Was
yeah.
with a 92.
Okay, I got one story before we go. So we're going fishing down Boyne.
Oh yeah, okay.
I get a snag. So I go, okay. And then Sean says, I'll take over the controls since I got my boat license. And then you can, we can back we can get the lure out. So what does he do? Oh, I know what I'm doing. I got my license. Jumps in the boat, goes forward when he needed to go back. Snap.
And all you hear is
I said, okay, well, I guess we don't have to go back for that one.
I said, sorry. And then he walks by me. He walks by me back in my head.
Yeah, I was just joking, man. It's just a lure. Big deal. You know what I mean? That's what it was.
Well, I always tell you.
But we have a story now. We have a story to tell about, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but I always tell people, items you lose in the water can be replaced, but not you.
So yeah,
you cannot be replaced. You cannot be replaced.
You got it.
Because items in the boat, motor are gonna fall off your boat. You get on the motor because no problem. But the money wise is different.
Yeah, well that's it, eh? It's a lot of money.
So,
but at that point, we'll just leave it there. We want everybody to stay safe.
Yeah.
And we appreciate everybody who came to join us today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. And don't forget, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And share with all your family, friends, cousins, whatever. Share it to your fishing page. Share it to your whatever you want to share it to.
And Sean needs to pay his hydro bill because he's got no lights over there apparently.
I said it earlier. Did you lose power yesterday?
We did not. No, not yesterday. It was the day before, wasn't it? 2 days before.
Yeah, but Shoppers did.
Shoppers did.
I didn't lose power.
Shoppers, Independents, all them there. They did.
We
didn't know until after we got the Shoppers. All the power's out. Well, what do you mean the power's out?
And
you should have seen the show of all the people who didn't understand what four-way stop was when there's no lights. Yeah, it was a pretty show. I mean, I was glad to get home without getting into an accident. Just put it that way.
Yeah, right now the main Algonquin Highway going to the square, past Shoppers. They're doing the asphalts.
Yeah. Well, they're doing asphalt on the main road to go to the hospital. Like, hello, how many times are you gonna repair that?
Yeah.
And then what the stupid thing was? The day we went, it was the day of the power outage, right?
Yeah.
We're leaving, and all of a sudden we see, they're tearing up the road or whatever. I said, well, we were going to go down, turn right beside the street where the school is there.
Yeah.
To go down to Brusso and then go right across and then turn right to go home, right? Well, no, these juniors, these geniuses had that street. They had their vehicles in that street, so nobody can get in there to bypass their bullshit. I mean, are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough to get around, and with the gas prices the way it is, I'm not doing like a whole big loop here. unless they're intending on paying my
Paying
my
for
gas,
paying for the gas, yeah.
like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going. That's dumb. But now they're further down the road, so now if you're coming from the hospital area, you could turn right there to go to down Brusso and go around like that. If you live in that area.
I heard a rumor going around that there might be digging by your place again on Denise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. I went, again? Dang.
Wow, how many times are you gonna rip that shit up?
Yeah.
I mean, how many times are they gonna screw it up before they get it right the first time?
Well, you get the rednecks off there. You got one guy. I got three, four guys with a coffee in their hand. One guy doing the digging.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a different story for that one.
Anyway, we're gonna let you go on that one.
Thanks for coming in, guys, and thanks for listening to us do whatever. We're gonna try to do a better topic this time on track, like building a lure or something, and then talk about how you use a lure for whatever.
Yeah. They get what you're saying, man. They hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hear what you meant. I hear what.
After get off this live,
Yeah.
I got to turn my power back on.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And thank you everybody for watching. Have yourself a great night.
And take care, everybody.